Hi everyone, this is the presentation of Advanced Computer Networks Assignment 2 Proposed Network Design and Implementation Plan. Our team members are Sulochana Rupasinghe, Natali Silva and I am Hiroshika Premaratna. We will be discussing introduction, requirements gathering, planning, designing, implementation and finally maintenance. Introduction. We have planned the network design to SLIT or Sri Lanka Institute of Information Technology. Sri Lanka Institute of Information Technology is the largest IT degree awarding institute in Sri Lanka in the field of information technology, recognized by the University Grants Commission under the Universities Act. Currently, SLIT has expanded island-wide, covering 5 major provinces. When we are doing the requirement gathering, first task was requirement gathering. Without doing the requirement gathering properly, we will not be able to come up with a good network design. This is the hub and spoke diagram for the institute. The main campus situated at Malambe, while rest of 5 branches situated at Colombo 3, Mathara, Kandy, Kurunegala and Jaffna. Since SLIT is an institute, the uses of the network can differ time to time. So an optimized capacity plan should be there. So the resources those should be provided depend on number of users. Resources are allocated proportionally to the number of users. Resources such as number of computers, required network devices, security, software requirements and bandwidth. Then we had to consider about the additional requirements. In here, campuses may need internet, email, business continuity, disaster recovery, concurrent examinations, VPN facilities, file sharing and etc. Some of the branches may not need all these facilities, so we identified the facilities each branch wants. Next, move to the planning. This is the Gantt chart of the tasks we have gone through to complete this network design. When we designed this network, we had to consider about the non-functional requirements as well. The first requirement is performance. In this network design, we use leased lines to connect sub-campuses to the main campus. And per each campus, a direct connection is provided for the internet facility by internet service provider. Since this is a dedicated line, the bandwidth is guaranteed. Reliability. We use TCP/IP protocol suite for the data communication. TCP provides reliable, ordered and error-checked delivery of a stream of octets between programs running on computers connected to a local area network, intranet or the public internet. To ensure availability, internet connections get from 2 different service providers. So if one connection fails, the other connection is there. We use 2 gateway routers. If any power failure happens, PCs are given the power with the UPS. For the remote users, VPN remote access is provided, so to access the network to be inside SLIT is not compulsory. Next requirement is scalability. To ensure scalability, virtual infrastructure is used. This figure shows the structure of virtualized infrastructure that provides the back and forth services for the whole network. For an example, if suddenly campus wants to handle a lot more number of student data than now, then it can be done with the virtualization. Final one is security. In this network, most of users are in Malambe and metro campuses. and the centralized location is Malabe campus. So for these two campuses, we use two firewalls. This ensures the security from remote users and others. The organization can survive for one day at a point of failure. We maintain two disaster recovery centers in Kandy and Metro campuses. According to the diverse geographical positions, these two locations were selected. Colombo 3 Metro campus is very easy to access and Kandy campus assure the recovery. Then the backups. Backups will be taken to tape drives. Storage of a tape drive is 700 gigabytes even though the backups will be stored in compressed format. Hence, single tape drive would store up to 1.4 terabytes. Courseware, SIMS, Finance, Web, Mail, Office Automation, Student AD are the servers those we can plan to backup. For security purpose, we use proxy servers and data encryption mechanisms.
Hope you have got a basic idea about the architecture we are going to design. Now I will move to the designing part. I am Natali Silva. So the purpose of this project is to design a network architecture at the main campus connecting three buildings at the premises as well as connecting all branches with the main campus. This is the diagram which shows the proposed network. As a business grows, it might expand to multiple offices across the country and around the world. To keep things running efficiently, the people working in those locations need a fast, secure, and a reliable way to share information across computer networks. So that we decided to build the overall network connecting all branches with the main campus using lease line connections. The advantage of lease line connection is it provides a guaranteed bandwidth. In typical ADSL connection, what it gives is a shared bandwidth, so that the receivable bandwidth is not guaranteed. Therefore, it is necessary to own a lease line connection depending on the functionality of this organization. In addition, traveling employees need an equally secure and reliable way to connect to their business computer network from remote locations. To accomplish this goal, a VPN is the most popular network technology to connect remote sites or users together. A virtual private network is a network that uses primarily public telecommunication infrastructure such as internet to provide remote officers or traveling users and access to the central organizational network. It is considered as a way of creating a secure connection to and from a network or computer. There are many different types of VPNs available. In order to increase the quality of service, we have considered about redundancy in every possible aspect. However, redundancy will be implemented depending on the number of users, level of vitality, and minimum time of failure tolerance at each campus. Redundancy will be achieved between main campuses and metropolitan campus since it performs various critical transactions between these two campuses. Therefore, in addition to the lease line, there will be a wireless link or a radio link in between. When designing a network, it is necessary to design it in a way to give better performance with an affordable cost. Therefore, we have identified two internet service providers. The main campus and the metropolitan campus will get a lease line connection from Internet Service Provider 1 mentioned as ISP1 in the diagram for their internet facility. This decision was made depending on the task to be performed, number of users in each campus, and bandwidth requirement. Moreover, these two campuses will have a redundant internet connection from Internet Service Provider 2 mentioned as ISP2 as a bundle of ADSL lines. The rest of the centers will get a bundle ADSL connection from Internet Service Provider 2 due to the reason in those centers there are less number of users, less number of operations compared to Mala Bay and Metropolitan Campus. Information Technology Service Division provides services as email, Moodle, database, webBAN, etc. ITSD or the Internet Information Technology Service Division is located centrally at the Mala Bay branch. However, each and every branch office needs to access these services provided by ITSD at Mala Bay. Hence, it will have a virtualized architecture as mentioned previously. Even though each branch accesses it remotely, it feels like accessing the services locally since every branch has connected to the main campus via lease lines. In order to provide these functionalities at ITSD, it will be developed according to the following architecture. When it comes to ITSD, the major requirement is sharing services among branches. However, the virtual server architecture provides more benefits along with the sharing of services. One major benefit is hot swapping. Hot swapping and hot plugging are terms that used to describe the functions of replacing computer system components without shutting down the system. This is very, very important to this kind of organization. Due to hot swapping, it becomes easy to expand. The organization is a university. Hence, amount of data storage on Moodle server depends on the number of students. If number of students get doubled, it required to expand the storage. Since we have a virtualized server architecture, it is possible to expand the storage without shutting down the system. Moreover, this virtualized architecture, we can run all machines on top of architecture without having separate CPU for each and every machine. This will increase the CPU utilization to a maximum level while reducing the power consumption to a significant level. This will be very helpful in near future because right now the organization is spending considerable percentage of the cost to electricity. However, in this project, we are considering each machine has a separate CPU except for servers. This diagram shows the architecture of main campus. It consists with internal network as well as a demilitarized zone. The demilitarized zone consists with web services and mail server for external accessors. However, the network should be able to provide access for internal network for remote lecturers. Therefore, internal network can be accessed through virtual private network. Firewall is equipped with rules to create borders between demilitarized zone and internal network. This is the architecture of Mala Bay campus main building. The Mala Bay campus has 3 multi-storied buildings. These buildings are interconnected with each other using server setup implemented in the main building with 9 floors. All the main switches will be connected to the 2 high-power core switches in the server setup. There are also redundant links if one link goes down. Connectivity between 3 buildings and the core switches is done via using fiber optic cables. Each floor has separate switch as mentioned in the diagram. All possible devices are connected to these switches. In order to maintain proper cable management, we have used patch panels between devices and switches. Moreover, these patch panels can assure the durability of these switches as well. This is the architecture of D-block building, which is very similar to the main building architecture. When designing network, we have to consider about telephone connectivity as well. We have already decided to get the connection through lease line. The benefit of lease line is it allows to ping from one site to another, as it offers public IP address as well as the IP address is not changing time to time. This is very important to the organization, hence it consists with all branches over the island. When the IP address is public, it guarantees two-way communication among Mala Bay campus and branches. We have identified three possible telephone connectivity technologies. The earlier solution, which has already implemented in this organization, is Private Branch Exchange, or also known as PBX. In PBX, telephone connectivity accomplished by gaining single or multiple telephone lines from one telecommunication provider, as an example over PSTN. All those connections are connected to PBX. Switching was performed by PBX. We have identified another two possible options, which are far more appropriate than PBX. The first one was to replace PBX with digital PBX. Digital PBX converts analog signals to digital signals. Hence, these signals can be transmitted through the data network. It can enable users to use soft phones. However, in this system, we are going to use this second option. The second option is to use hosted outsourced PBX. In this scenario, the organization does not have a PBX, but a rather smaller device. Through that device, the call goes to telecommunication provider's PBX. At the PBX, it switched to the destination. Since connectivity is fast, it does not show significant difference. Moreover, another reason was behind to make this decision. The corresponding service provider offered a cost-effective idea for the organization. The idea was to provide a lease line connectivity for a reduced price. So that is all about designing of this network.
Hi, I am Sulochana Rupasinghe. I am going to explain about the implementation, procurement process and the maintenance of our network. Implementation. When we design and implement a network, it should be a complete process that matches organizational needs to available technology to deliver a system that will maximize an organization's success. So here in our implementation, we have selected top-down approach to implement the network. First, we analyze the goals of our organization and different requirements depending on the different branches. Then, according to them, we develop the logical model and then the physical model. Here in this diagram, we have listed the steps we followed in top-down network design. Analyze requirements, develop logical design, develop physical design, test, optimize and document design, implement and test network, monitor and optimize network performance. Under the analyze requirements, we are going to analyze organizational goals and constraints, analyze technical goals and trade-offs, characterize the existing network and characterize network traffic. Under logical network design, first we design a network topology. We have selected star topology to implement our network. Design models for addressing and naming, select switching and routing protocols, develop network security strategies and develop network management strategies. Under the physical network design, we selected technologies and devices for campus networks. Select technologies and devices for enterprise networks. Under testing, optimizing and documenting the network design, we tested the network design, optimized the network design and documented the network design. Procurement process. After planning the network design, we found that what are the exact devices needed for our network. We listed those devices within a table like this. Here we have listed the quantities of each and every network device for different branches. Then for each device we created separate specification along with all the important details and the current prices. Those specifications we have included in our documentations. Then by considering the quantities needed for each device, we calculated the total budget for the entire network implementation. After that, we sent these documents to the procurement manager. The procurement manager analyzed the documents and gave the approval for us. And also we have sent another copy of these documents to the finance manager to get the approval for the budget. Normally in this kind of procurement process, the procurement manager needs to send these documents to at least 3 vendors, and the vendors needs to send their replies back to the procurement department. By looking at those replies, the technical evaluation team needs to select a vendor. Normally, in order to carry out this process, the companies hire an unbiased consultant. Insight to the project. When we design and implement a network, we may have to face some issues within the organization, such as network project is an infrastructure project which is cost-centered. User problems can occur due to changes in the infrastructure. Managerial issues can occur since it is cost-centered and revenue is not visible clearly. In order to overcome these issues, we will adhere to network designing best practices. Here we have listed some of the best practices to be followed. To adhere to the ITIL, we are going to have an IT help desk within the main campus, that is within the Malambe main campus, to provide the services for the staff. And also we are supposed to conduct several training sessions to train the staff. To adhere to the ISO 27000, the firewall implementation for information security purpose are going to be done. To adhere to the COBIT IT governance, and for the Six Sigma, maintain high quality. Maintenance and recovery. Maintenance is one of the very important phrase in this project, because if we could not be able to maintain the implemented network, the entire project will be failed. So in order to keep the network connection to run smoothly, proper maintenance must be done. As the time passes by, computers will tend to slow down due to several reasons like new programs added and filled disk space. So here we have listed some of the basic things that we need to consider: backups, disaster recovery sites and firewalls. These factors we have already described under the security aspects. And here we have listed some tips on maintaining a computer network and avoiding things that can go wrong with it. Download a reliable and trusted antivirus software and upgrade frequently. Do not download programs if you do not trust or you are not familiar with the provider. Once the internet connection slows down, you need to reset the modem and the router. You must also reboot all the PCs connected to the network and then restart. Check the cables which are connected to the Ethernet computers and to the network to find out if there are faulty or malfunctioning cables, so you can fix them as soon as possible. Utilize the disk cleanup on the system tool, especially if you have several computer drives, and repeat the process until all the drives are cleaned up. Make sure that the registry is clean at all times, since it is an essential but delicate part of the operating system. Delete the browsing history and the temporary files that you no longer use. Have a reliable server rack to properly organize the network units and manage the interconnected terminals. That's all about our presentation, and thank you.